They said she couldn't fight again. But they forgot, some battles are won long before the first strike is thrown. It started in the dusty training yard of Fort Sheridan, where men twice her size lined up like wolves, testing the smallest in the pack. And that's when General Lawson, decided to teach the Navy girl a lesson she'd never forget. Before I tell you what happened next, tell me in the comments where you're watching from. I love knowing who's listening. The sun glared like fire through the chain-link fence. Recruits had gathered, their boots scraping the gravel as they whispered about the confrontation they'd been waiting for. Lieutenant Avery Miles, one of the first women ever to train alongside elite SEAL instructors, stood alone, her right arm still bound in a brace from a rescue mission gone wrong. The general circled her like a predator tasting victory before the hunt even began. "You think you can win with one arm, Lieutenant?" he sneered, his voice echoing off the steel walls. Maybe the Navy forgot to teach humility. Avery didn't blink. "Maybe the Army forgot that strength isn't about limbs, sir. It's about the will that moves them." Laughter rippled through the ranks. The general lunged, swift, brutal, precise. He struck her right arm, shattering the brace, sending pain coursing through her body like fire. She fell to one knee, gasping as her vision blurred. He turned away, smirking, convinced the lesson was done. But Avery wasn't finished. She rose slowly, left arm trembling, eyes locked on him like a storm closing in. Silence fell. Even the wind seemed to hold its breath. "Permission to continue, sir," she said, through clenched teeth. A murmur ran through the onlookers. The general paused, half amused, half unnerved. "You can't even lift your weapon." She didn't answer. She didn't need to. With her left hand, she reached for the training dummy's rifle, flipped it upside down, and snapped into motion, fluid, precise, terrifyingly calm. One strike, two, three. Within seconds, the weapon's barrel rested at the general's throat. Gasps filled the yard. Dust spiraled around them like smoke from an unseen fire. She stepped back, breath steady now, eyes soft but unyielding. "You taught me something, General," she said. "Never underestimate a soldier who's already fought through pain." He stared at her, speechless. And for the first time in years, the men saw him take a step back. That night, word spread through the base faster than wildfire. Some said the general requested her transfer. Others said he couldn't stand facing her again. The truth was quieter, heavier. He called her to his office the next morning. When she entered, he didn't look up right away. The room smelled faintly of coffee and guilt. Papers were scattered across his desk, and his once steady hands trembled as he folded them together. "You could have hit me," he said finally. "You didn't." Avery's voice was soft, but it carried weight. "Respect isn't taken, sir. It's earned." He nodded, swallowing hard. Then, reaching into a drawer, he pulled out a medal, one reserved for acts of valor beyond command. He placed it on the desk between them. "You just earned it." Outside, the wind rustled the flags. Soldiers paused in their routines, sensing the shift in something invisible yet real. Avery stepped into the light, her right arm still bound, but her spirit untouched, unbreakable. Weeks later, when her unit was deployed for a high-risk extraction, she led with one arm still healing. And when the chopper returned, carrying every man alive, even the general stood on the runway to salute her. Because some victories aren't about strength. They're about heart, the kind that refuses to break even when bones do. Because courage doesn't come from what still works. It comes from what still fights. And when history tells her story, it won't begin with the arm she lost. It'll begin with the one she raised. Before you scroll, tell me what you think. Could you fight with everything, even if part of you was broken? If this story moved you, don't forget to subscribe for more untold stories of courage, kindness, and justice. Your support keeps these voices alive.